on, Pin, this way. Welcome to another episode of All Adventures. Today we got a busy day with the Hawaii move. Few updates of where we're at. I'm out walking the dog here. We are now in Dublin, California. We're staying at my mother-in-law's apartment building, which is right here. While we kind of make our plans on getting from here to Hawaii. So a few quick little updates of our moving status. So originally I had planned on shooting multiple episodes of the different things we need to do to move, which was move our car, move our stuff, and that was going to be a big part of the meat and potatoes of this video series. But some things have changed. One, our car, which I mentioned in the last video, was having some transmission issues. Unfortunately, we bought the car in December, which has been 3.5 months, and it has dropped 2 transmissions. It dropped one, and we thought that was strange since it was fairly new to us, but the car was a used car and it did have a lot of mileage on it, so that was pretty normal. So the company, which was CarMax, they fixed it and they gave it back to us, and we drove it again for another month, and then around literally the same day, it was a month later, the transmission broke again. So I complained to CarMax, and they decided the best deal would be for me just to sell the car back to them for what we paid for it. So they're going to do a buyback today, and we're doing that today. So here in a little bit, we are going to pack up and we're going to CarMax and we're going to sign the papers and sell that car back. So unfortunately for this video series, there will not be the part of us shipping our car, but I will tell you, the research that we did, our car was going to cost $1,500 to ship. I looked at 3 or 4 different shipping companies, and for our weight and model of car, that's pretty much what it is. If you're planning on shipping a car bigger than that, like an SUV or a truck or something, you can imagine it's probably going to be a lot more, probably like $2,500 to $3,000. And for us here in California, we would drop the car off in Oakland. That's where the port is. So Oakland, California, which is about 20 minutes, 30 minutes from where we're at now. And then they would drop it off in Honolulu in the port. So other than that, another little update is moving our stuff. We were planning on getting a pod, but the pod price that we got quoted was about $5,000 to $6,000 for a small pod, just to take a little bit of our stuff, because it wasn't a full-size pod. It was only like a 6x6, I think, something like that. So we kind of evaluated how much stuff we have and how much our stuff was worth, and to be honest, we didn't even have $5,000 worth of stuff. Sorry, my dog is spinning me around. We didn't have $5,000 worth of stuff that we wanted to actually ship there, so why spend $5,000 to ship $1,000 worth of stuff? So we had decided, hold on a second, let me readjust because my dog is here trying to find the perfect spot. Anyways, we decided, like, why spend all that money just to ship a little bit amount of stuff? So what we're doing is we're actually just going to take our very prized possessions and ship them in smaller boxes, just using UPS. It's probably still going to cost us $600 to $700 to ship all these boxes, but that's cheaper than $6,000. So yeah, the rest of this episode, we're going to do a little cooking thing. We decided today we're going to do a little Hawaiian cookout, or a little Hawaiian some Hawaiian food. Sorry. So yeah, so for the rest of this video, we're just going to be like cooking this, show you how we cook this little Hawaiian meal, and then yeah, we'll have future episodes come up as we get farther. The next one, next week, we're going to be taking the dog to the vet to get all his official shots and paperwork for the move, and we'll make an episode about that, about what's needed and what we're going to need to get him over there. So let's start this cooking thing. We're gonna do some pork and some chicken, and obviously like island macaroni salad. See how it turns out. Alright, so I'm going to try to make my take on Kahlua pork, which is basically a Hawaiian pork dish that is cooked in banana leaves. You see here I bought some banana leaves, and I bought some red sea salt, which is kind of Hawaiian salt. It contains more minerals than most salts. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this piece of pork. This is a Boston butt, or a pork shoulder. It's a small one because I'm only feeding 2 people and my daughter, so I didn't get a big one, but you can buy these pretty big size, like full bone in, and it will feed a lot of people. For my small family, this will work. So I'm just going to quickly just coat this with salt real good. This salt is not as salty as table salt. It has more minerals and it's less salty, so you can kind of go heavy with it here. And then I also like to stab holes in it and put in some garlic in the center. Just kind of add a little bit of a garlic flavor, but you don't have to do that. That's just kind of my thing. Next, if I was at home, I would actually smoke this on my smoker for at least like 20 minutes to get some smoky flavor. If you don't have a smoker, you can also use liquid smoke from the grocery store. Just put a couple tablespoons of that in there and you'll be good. Just get that smoky flavor. And then you just want to wrap this up in the banana leaves. These are banana leaves I bought at a local Ranch Mart or an H Mart. Any kind of Asian market usually carries banana leaves. And if you don't have a H Mart, you could always just get these on Amazon. You can buy banana leaves on Amazon. So I'm just wrapping this up, and I'm kind of cross-wrapping it to make sure that everything's covered and there's no holes where meat is exposed to the outside. So I just kind of like wrapped one vertical and then wrapped it again horizontal and got this nice little burrito of meat. Okay, so now I'm going to slow cook this. I'm just going to put this in a crock pot, and then we're just going to slow cook it probably for like 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours. I did add a little bit of water at the bottom of my crock pot to make sure that it's continually steaming and not drying out. You can also use like vegetable broth. I think you can use a vegetable broth would be good. So you can see I kind of packed that in there tight because my crock pot at my mother-in-law's is smaller than the one I usually cook in, but this will be fine. So I'm just going to set this to high and let it go. For the next part, we're going to do the island macaroni, macaroni salad or island mac. It's really actually super simple because you're looking at like everything you're going to need. So we got overcooked macaroni elbows. Overcooked, I mean like this is well cooked. No al dente here. Well cooked, overcooked, very cooked macaroni. And then we got Best Foods real mayonnaise. This is a no substitute. This is the brand you need to use. I think Hellmann's is owned by the same company and they have one that's Hellmann's real mayonnaise, but this is the only two that anybody recommends using. Don't try to use like anything else. Shredded carrots, we're going to shred these, and then salt and pepper. So let me go ahead and shred these up, and then we're going to start mixing the ingredients together. Alright, so I have all the ingredients in here. These carrots, normally you'd want these shredded like using a shredder, but I didn't have one because this is not my kitchen and my mom doesn't have... Wait, actually, hold on. No. Okay, yes, I'm right. I thought maybe I was like, maybe she does have a shredder and I just didn't find it. No. Okay, my mom doesn't have a shredder, so I just chopped them as fine as I could. And then we have our mayonnaise and our salt and pepper, and you really just need to mix this up. Nothing special going on here. This is a pretty simple thing to make. Some people actually put a little sugar in this, like probably like a teaspoon of sugar. I mean, to taste. I mean, I don't personally like it with the sweetness to it, so I don't put the sugar in it. But it's up to you. You do this, and you do your salt and pepper, and you feel like you could use the sugar, you know, add a little sugar. I would not do too much because you don't want it tasting like candy. Alright, that's pretty much done. I'm going to let this sit, and then now we're going to move on to the chicken. Next up, we're going to do some chicken. So we got some kind kind of a Hawaiian. I'd say it's probably more on the Asian side than Pacific Islanders. It's kind of more like a Filipino adobo or something, but it's a really nice chicken to do. So we got some chicken thighs here. Got some soy sauce and some rice wine vinegar, garlic, and ginger. And we're just gonna peel this ginger with a spoon, just scratch all the skin off, and we're gonna finally chop this and finally chop that, and we'll get into making the sauce. All right, here's a quick look at the measurements for this sauce. It's pretty simple. We're just gonna mix all these ingredients together in a pan, and then we're going to basically just kind of boil the chicken in this liquid for about 45 minutes until it's really nice and marinated, and then we'll take the meat off, take it to the grill to char it, and then make a kind of a thick sauce out of what's left over. We'll thicken it up and make a sauce out of it. So let's get started by just mixing this all together and getting the chicken in there. All right, 1.5 cups of water going in. And put in our ginger and our garlic. Get all that in there. A cup of soy sauce. 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar. 1/4 cup of brown sugar. All right, let's mix that all together and get that nice and going. All right, now we got all those ingredients in there. We're just going to put in the chicken. Just going to push these in here. Nothing magical or fancy going on here. Just put it in, and we're going to let this put this on a very low simmer, and let this just simmer and marinate this meat for about 45 minutes. And you'll know it's ready because the meat itself will become a dark brown after it absorbs all this nice flavor. So let's just let that sit, and I'll just stir it and occasionally make sure it's all covered and make sure it's all getting nice and coated, and then we'll come back in 45 minutes and then take all the meat off and take it to a grill real quick. Alright, so I took the meat out and thickened up the sauce with a little bit of cornstarch slurry. So mix a little cornstarch with water and kind of add it and mix. And you see here, I also put the meat in the broiler and kind of charred the top. So I kind of just darkened the top of the meat. I plan on doing this in the barbecuer, but it was just quicker to do it in the broiler. And yeah, it all works out. Here is the pork. We're going to take this out of the wrapper, and you can see it's just really soft and just falls apart. And it carries a lot of that banana leaf flavor. It came out really nice. Everything is so good. Everything has a lot of flavor with your rice and your island mac. Alright, hope you liked that little cooking segment. I just wanted to do something a little more interesting than just talking on these videos. So I figured every once in a while I'd throw in some kind of segment that has something to do with Hawaii. And this week it was just a little cooking video that we did. So on our next video we're going to be going into more of pets. Shipping your pet from the mainland to Hawaii and what you got to do. So next Friday we have our veterinarian appointment to get our dog updated on all his shots and get his documents from the veterinarian on I don't know what the paperwork is. It's some kind of blood test and some other documentation that Hawaii requires you to bring in a pet. So on the next video we'll go in more about pets and what it takes to get your pet there, and then we'll make mini follow-up videos on other things as we get closer to our move date. So alright, till next time.